Hello and welcome to the Kundalini podcast. That was Zen. This is Tao. I'm Vivek Govekar. This is episode 113, 113. What am I going to talk about today? I just glanced upon my previous channel and I saw the first 12 episodes because now recently I have crossed 100 episodes and I'm on episode 112, the last one. So obviously, one way I could tie it to a numerical theme would be to maybe give some further exploration of some other topic that I had talked about in my previous series on another channel. Oh, okay, so 112 matches the number 12, the first 12 episodes, and what did I do on the 12th episode? That got me thinking to include what was in that previous episode in the current one that I'm making. And lo and behold, when I checked my database, episode 13, you can go check it out, in the other That Was Zen, This Is Tao series. And I look very different, clean shaven and very young. It was about the Gayatri mantra. Okay. Obviously, this has been a common theme in both my series. Even in the current channel, I have been speaking about the Gayatri mantra, more in depth about other mantras and yoga, breathing techniques, willpower, your mind, control over your senses, etc., etc. So, in this episode, 113, I would like to go back to the subject of the Gayatri mantra. And let me start by saying the mantra itself. Om Bhur Bhuvas Swaha Om Tatsavitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Om Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. This is slightly different from how most people say it. I say it with 3 Om sounds and they say it with just an Om at the beginning. And this was something given to me by my father's guru, the person I believe is responsible for my Kundalini awakening. And I kept saying the Gayatri mantra constantly, but unconsciously, and I didn't really know what the final outcome would be, what the goal was, why I was saying this mantra. As I have explained before in episode 13 in the previous channel, you can go check it out. What the mantra means is, O awake, O greater being, please give me an awakening, to make it short. That's the gist of it, the essence. So you are asking for this awakening, called the Kundalini awakening, constantly, under the supervision of a guru, who was my father's guru, who has given you some form of Shaktipat while giving you this mantra, and knows that his Shaktipat is his blessing, covering the fact that he's taking care of you and guiding you, whether you are in his presence or not. Thank you, God, and thank you, Purushottam Maharaj, and his lineage. Purushottam Maharaj, he's guided by Narayan Maharaj, and then Sadgurunath Maharaj, which is like the principle of a guru, Sadguru. And I just thought about all of that from my childhood. So we lived in this place, Mumbai, India, Bombay. And my father was a very religious person. He would take me to various ashrams and gurus even before this person. And we were a religious family who would actively pursue the wisdom of awakened beings in the yogic traditions. Swami. So this person, Purushottam Maharaj, the guru, gave me a Shaktipat and asked me to recite this mantra, Gayatri mantra. So we were already initiated into this fold and this sect. It was regular Hinduism. Everything else was exactly like regular Hinduism, but this is a special form that is exclusive about the use of one mantra, and a technique of yoga called Sahaj Yoga. Other people also had other forms of both of those things, the use of the Gayatri mantra and Sahaj Yoga. it is the equivalent of, you take any other religious tradition, having its own sub-grouping that only does certain things and follows a more devout or refined form where they have had better results, I guess, and decided that would be the path for their group. And here's an enlightened being who used this path and got to enlightenment in a lineage, right? So that's how I was given the Gayatri Mantra. This guru, we went from Mumbai to this village called Hingoli in the state of Maharashtra in India, and he had his ashram there. Before that, he had come to Mumbai and visited several of his disciples, including my father, stayed in different houses, and there would be a prayer group there, and there would be rejoicing prayer, lots of fun had by kids who were all part of that group. So I have fond memories of that, playing with those kids who I would have otherwise never met. Such a disparate group, like completely different backgrounds and parts of the country, and especially Mumbai, different parts, and where we would meet was like, would have never happened except for one or two families which my father had introduced to that group. So we knew them from another thing, and we also knew them from here. Other than those exceptions, pretty much everyone was someone completely different. So when we went to this place, Hingoli, and it was all about mantras, pujas, yagna, home, different ways of worship done in the Hindu tradition, done over a period of 10, 12, 15 days, very sacred, holy gatherings. One of these gatherings was in a public place where there was a sermon, of course, there was praying and chanting together, singing of bhajans, and all the kids were sitting there for eating something that, candy or whatever they had given, like, prasad. It is divine candy, Indian mithai candy, which is given to God as an offering, and then now you eat it. So it's like kids obviously love that. And this guru was just watching, sitting on a pandal up there, watching on a platform. Pandal is a platform on which he sits and gives a sermon. I was sitting in one place eating something and just thinking thoughts. And all the kids decided, okay, we're gonna leave now. Because they had the candy, now they're, hey, we're gonna go play. They were leaving, right? I was about to leave. He said, no, you sit there. Okay. And I had no clue. But he must have been reading my mind. But I was so frustrated, I wanted to go and play with him. That I remember to be my thoughts. Sorry, Maharaj. In my juvenile thoughts. Yeah, might have cursed him out too. Sorry, didn't know. What he was giving was Shaktipat and Gayatri Mantra. Whatever magic is needed to make that activated in somebody so that it later on actually gives them that fulfillment of the mantra that they're saying without even knowing what they're doing. And I would say that mantra every single day. Back then, at the age of 10, very devoutly, and God, yes. Went along with whatever my family was doing, very religious family. As I grew older, I rejected that, even when I was still living in India, in college. I don't have time for this. I don't have time to go to an ashram and sing prayers with people or go and do this. But I kept saying the mantra. I'll do that much because it's habit now. So the devoutness, I guess, is a remnant from when I was a really young child to adulthood. Just kept saying it as a rote habit when I came to the US and pretty much stayed that way until the Kundalini awakening. So that's when I found out that this is what had happened. Until that point, I didn't even know it was a Shaktipat. I was sitting at a distance from about 20 feet away from him. Whatever he needed to do from that distance, he did. And I kept saying the mantra. Now that I have proof of this and know that this is why I got a Kundalini awakening, for a long time I spent some time thinking, why would this happen to me if I had no knowledge previously? And that was answered for me through premonitions and dreams and the presence of a spirit guide, which was my guru, that guy, Purushottam Maharaj, my father's guru, who appeared as a spirit guide in a dream which is known to happen in Hinduism by these gurus and Maharaj type people, and gave me some messages that were to be delivered to my father in deep trance, in deep samadhi. Someone pointing to me and saying, okay, tell him this, so he knows that it's me giving this message. Okay, and I gave it to my dad. There is something called a Guru mantra. In addition to the Gayatri mantra, there's another mantra he had given to my dad. Like, this is only given by the Guru to the disciple, and that's Shaktipat, individualized, customized, I guess, for that person. He told me, the spirit guide asked me in that dream, in that vision, to convey that message to my father. And my father said, how do you know this? The Guru mantra is supposed to be secret. It's only between the Guru and the disciple. No third person knows this. I guess even my mom didn't know it. And I did, so he was surprised. Like, your Guru told me to tell. And this really happened. So the Gayatri mantra and awakened beings giving it to other people and Shaktipat are all true, in my experience, as a rational adult going through a Kundalini awakening, through personal experience that checks out and bears out in many other forms of literature related to Hinduism and ascendant forms of worship, trance-based, mantra-based, very established regular practice in India. I just didn't know that I was a recipient of all of these things. Obviously, that's what you went there for. Your father took you there. You made these friends with those kids that I still remember. And, a couple of those people I've seen on my Facebook recently. Even though my intent wasn't that, and I didn't choose it, it chose me. The Guru chose me. He gave me the mantras. And I proceeded to reap the benefits at a much later stage. So instead of repeating the Gayatri mantra and its meaning again, you can go back to that video. I'll put a link down in the comments section to episode 13 from the previous series. What I'd like to add for episode 113 is, this is all true. Shaktipat, saying a mantra, being part of a tradition, and having a Guru that imparts spiritual knowledge upon you, tells you to repeat a mantra, and it works, gives you a Kundalini awakening, and then you can have the experience of having a spirit guide in the form of that Guru guiding you, even though they are not present in the physical form on this plane. Yes, all of this, I will say, have been my experiences, to the extent that that Guru even gave me my father's Guru mantra, which he had not told any other soul for all these years, until I told him that, and he was quite surprised and impressed by that. And I was one of those people who was the least bit interested in any of these things: occult, spirituality, Kundalini, chakras. But my father was deeply and keenly interested. All I have to say is that it's all good, and it's all a great ascension done through the right means. And people should try to get Shaktipat and say the Gayatri mantra. I'll just say what my experience is, and however that guides you. There are no ill effects to saying the Gayatri mantra. You can say it as many times a day as possible, but at least 3 times a day, or if you can, maybe 21 times a day would be best. It gives you these results. I can't guarantee them. I cannot tell you that for a fact you will have a Kundalini awakening. But you can't do any wrong. And you will not go in the wrong direction if you say the Gayatri mantra. Because of my tradition, my individual tradition with this Guru, Purushottam Maharaj, I say it with 3 ohms. And you may choose to say it that way. I hope you found this helpful. This is Vivek Kovekar signing off. Peace, love, blessings. Be well.